turn that around. I'm like,
oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. I can feel it coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Cowboys going up against the Vikings. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
We are at the newest stadium in the NFL, and its inaugural year. There's a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
They run with Murray. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
all right, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And this is caught at the 20. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 45 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Now, that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your playlist.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Here we go now. Boom,
On 3rd down, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jamarcus Demarcus Lawrence with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Novak's kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Austin's got it left side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Second down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And the count. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Watch tight end. You got 3 down. Touch it now, Barney.
They go with Murray again. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 3.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Going up top. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Pass interference. Defense.
So pass interference, partnered with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hands. Very difficult to be a defender in today's NFL.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. And it's second down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
On first down, Murray. A gain of 3, second down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
That was second down run for Murray. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Kendall Wright, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. One quarter in the books. 10-zip our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
The the gun. They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Looking for Austin, intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to, and I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't it?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, hello, my name is Mike.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to break up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. So 3rd and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. His throw incomplete. They come out here in the eye. A give to McCoy. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll try and throw for it here. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. Oh, what a juke into space. The 40, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. LaShawn McCoy, 82 yards. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. So it was 4th down. They complete the short pass, and then boom, off to the races all the way to pay dirt.
And so many times in short yardage situations or on downs like this on 4th down, the defense gets a little more aggressive. So if you're able to pop it, right, complete a pass like that, it can break big afterwards, and that's exactly what we saw there. Short pass, long run.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Again, it's Murray. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Brief break in the action here. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. Uh-oh, Kirk Cousins. He's still down on the ground. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now it's the backup Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Now Gino on first down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. To the air again, Smith. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Again, Smith. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. From the red zone now, Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
Throwing again is Smith. And his pass incomplete. Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Now Smith on 3rd and goal. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And they're going to speed things up here. He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Vikings are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Cowboys didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 2nd and 8 with plenty of pressure this half and another sack. This will go as a loss of 10. Third and goal. Cousins got the completion here. He caps off the 7-play drive with the score, pushing the lead to 10. 4th down from the 17. McCoy's targeting coming across the middle, and he's going to go 83 yards for the score. Now trailing by just 3. Vikings with the ball late in the half. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and finally on play 12 they score, pushing the lead to 10. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline and kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. but the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. No gain on the play there, second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They run it here with Thompson. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Only a yard of the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down.
Here we go now.
In motion left comes Williams. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll pitch it out to McCoy. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He loses 5 full yards to bring up fourth.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Play clock winding down. They're going to try and throw. But he's got it to Hearns. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. Give him 16 on the pickup, and the Cowboys are going to get a first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Back to throw now on first down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now McCoy. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
1 man on the backfield. That's McCoy.
Green 39! Green 39!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now Thompson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Let's go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he is out of bounds here. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the mark.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way. And he goes down, and it's in the end zone. Smith goes down in that end zone. That is a safety. Had it on their one, elected to try the pass, and that's the risk you run, a safety.
Yeah, as a former defender, I like it when they try and play that kind of style of ball. Go ahead and throw it from your own end zone because my guys are coming.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at the 15. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down in position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. They'll run with Thompson. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
McCoy, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll set up a throw. Backing up. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, They're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind down the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football? Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Smith now to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sean Lee not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down. From the gun, here's Smith. He's got time in the pocket. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Play action. It's Smith. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
A 20th carry coming up now for Murray. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. And here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. On third down, Murray. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to a running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball. And that didn't happen on that play.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Following the penalty, it's Murray. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Murray, the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter to finish, talk about protecting your home.